Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter. Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Everything that I've had, praise the Lord. Worship Christ with the best of devotion.
Oh, there's a lot to talk about in this episode. Okay, we have like some new updates on the Brotherhood of Steel. We got a little bit of Caesar's Legion lore. We got some, a whole flashback to Shady Sands and the NCR. But never mind any of that garbage. I'm here to talk about aliens.
Aliens.
When I saw that scene, okay, when I saw that scene in Area 51, one, that's a great scene. I think that's perfect. I think that's how aliens should be treated in this series. And I remember talking about Fallout, probably a year ago when the first season came out, a year or two ago, and I was like, there should be aliens in the show, but if they do it, it should be a throwaway gag. Because in Fallout lore, aliens are very present. Okay, aliens are all over Fallout lore. Every single Fallout game has aliens in it, right? But they are all like one-off gags in the game for the most part, right? There's an alien species in Fallout called the Zedans, right? They are like kind of like, they're not green, they're like yellowish kind of aliens, but they're the little kind of aliens with the big heads and the big eyes and with like the stereotypical like alien blasters, and they run around on flying saucers. And very frequently in most Fallout games, you will find like a crashed alien saucer somewhere in the wasteland, right? You'll find a crashed saucer, maybe there'll be living aliens or dead aliens, and then you can grab like some alien weaponry. And usually they're like really powerful guns that have a limited ammo because you can't make more of it because it's like alien, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're tied a lot to the lore of Fallout in a fun way. If you look deep, there's some hints that maybe some of the plasma technology is actually reverse engineered alien technology. There is one DLC called Mothership Zeta where the whole point is like you get kidnapped by aliens and you're on a mothership, and it reveals that there's been aliens, lurking around the Fallout universe since samurai times. Because one of the people you find is a kidnapped samurai that's been like cryo frozen, and you have all these crazy bits, and like the way like aliens are in lore. But what makes them so funny is they don't matter at all.
There's just
like
they just completely so they have like no important bearing,
no plot significance. Right? I mean, they'll have like, oh, you're saying?
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say just a fun little side quest.
Yes,
if you want. Huh,
yes.
Interesting.
there's a full-on there's provable extraterrestrial life in the Fallout universe, and no one cares. It is none of the main factions. It's just something nobody cares about, and I think
They got
that's
bigger
very
things to
funny.
worry about.
They have much bigger things to worry about. Like, they'll throw little things and like, oh, maybe the aliens did the bomb or whatever, but like that's not really. I don't think that's really canon. And like every game will have some sort of alien thing. Some games have more than others. But they really don't matter. And I think how they were treated, as in the Brotherhood of Steel opens up the box, sees an alien, says, "Oh, cool," just tosses it out. Perfect.
An icebox.
And there is a little bit of there's like an alien ship in the background, and also like covered up by a tarp at Area 51. For me personally, I would have liked my throwaway gag would be just maybe like either at the opening or the ending, or just somewhere in the thing, like maybe at the end of an episode, like it just pans out and you see a flying saucer above, and then it just leaves, and then no one ever talks about it. Like, it's just there. And that's one of my favorite things about Fallout, and I'm glad that we got this representation. I want more weird stuff like that. Fallout also has like some Lovecraftian stuff going on.
Oh, really?
Yes, they have a full on like Lovecraftian side plot of the Dunwich Horror, um, and there's different allusions to like ancient technology and the old gods. Um, there's an entire side quest about these like this immortal kind of family. Um, and the guy has a weird, fancy like psychic helmet. There's all kinds of crazy stuff happening in the Fallout universe that doesn't really matter, but it's there. The Fallout universe is a weird place, and
Okay.
I think we need more weirdness, more fun weirdness. Because I don't think there's enough like I want a more sense of like wonder in the show, and I think the show can be a little too cynical sometimes, and I want more like fun, weird stuff that just happens.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Personally, I really like and am enjoying seeing this world for the very first time since the first season. Uh yeah, I personally like the whole to me it feels very bizarre already. So the fact that we are getting even into like there's even like a better level to
Yeah.
it is wild to me. Uh, Especially because like most of the weird stuff I think is granted very far fetched, but like you could like explain it away because the things got mutated over time
Yeah.
and radioactive, and then the evolution got in the mix of that and making these things evolve into more higher radioactive things like the scorpions we saw.
Well,
Uh,
yeah. Well, you have to understand this is a little lore bit. There's something in the Fallout universe called the Forced Evolutionary Virus, or
first,
FEV, which was a government program before the war to try to make like a. Well, first the idea was to try to um, counteract Chinese biological weapons, but then became, oh wait, this mutates people into like these crazy things. Let's try to make super soldiers. That was from before the war, and then it got brought back by another guy like after the apocalypse. That's where we get super mutants from, and the other more wacky and crazy stuff is FEV. So get excited.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I Yeah, no, I would like to see more like the ecosystem of this place, of the various places. I know that New Vegas takes place in,
The
Vegas.
Mojave, yeah. Well, the region's
Oh,
called Mojave. It's kind of like a like Las Vegas and like a larger like Southwest kind of area, like Nevada,
oh, okay.
California.
Okay. Uh, do the other Fallout games, forgive me if you mentioned this before and I just forgot, do they take place like from at least from Fallout 1 to 4, do they take place in the same or around the same location, or is it like spread
They're
out
they're
more?
different. They're different. I would say, um, the original Fallout games, like Fallout 1 and 2, they build off of each other, and they both take place like in California, like the Interplay games. 3, which was the first Bethesda game, takes place on the East Coast in Washington D.C. And then New Vegas, which was made by a lot of the original guys, returns to the West Coast, and like that's where we are now in the show, the West Coast. So that takes place like also in like of course Nevada, Mojave, but it's not the exact same location as the like Interplay games. It's not the same part. Like it's not like fully like in California or anything, but it's like near that area. So you get a lot of crossover from some of the older like Fallout 2, 1 and 2 things,
Mhm,
but they're not like one on one. It's still a different area, right? With a unique environment. 4 takes place in Boston, or in the Fall universe,
mhm,
it's the Commonwealth
mhm,
in like Boston, a little bit of Massachusetts, and of course, a lot of these games have DLCs, which go even a little bit further. Like I think Fallout 4's DLC takes place like in Maine.
mhm.
And 3 has a Pittsburgh DLC and like a Maryland DLC.
Mm,
And New Vegas, not New Vegas, 76, which is like the weird kind
yeah.
of multiplayer game. That takes place in Appalachia.
Appalachia.
Yeah. So like Virginia, West Virginia.
Oh, okay. See, I would like the experience. I don't know if the series itself will ever get to this point, or if there's like nods to it outside of the game. But I'm curious as to see like how the international, the outside countries
We
have
don't
dealt.
know.
not,
We
not,
do
not like a little.
know. Not fully. Okay. We have lots of bits about like what the world was like before. I think, and like it was not great because it's the Great War, and there was a big conflict between like America and China, and both America and China were like annexing other countries around them. We probably know the most about like China, but like the other countries, we don't know. Like, we know Mexico has its own thing going on, right? Because there's characters like from Mexico, like Raul and New Vegas, and Canada got annexed by America during the Great War. So like that's a whole thing. But the other countries we don't know. Somebody made like a bunch of fans made like their own kind of like fan mod called Fallout London.
Mm.
Which but that of course that's not canon. But we don't know
That's
what
interesting.
it's like outside of America. I would love to see what it's like outside of America. I would like
Yeah, that
to
sounds
see
like a really interesting concept. I'm
I
like,
like to see what it's like in China, because China's our direct thing. There's American troops that got stuck behind in China during the Great War, and also vice versa. A lot of the games have Chinese troops that got stuck behind in America. So like in 2, there's a whole group called like the Chi, who are a bunch of like they're descendants of a like Chinese like submarine that was outside of like California. Like they got beached and they kind of built their own society. Like they moved to Chinatown, that California Chinatown, and they built their own like society from there, right? And they have their own thing, and they're more like traditional Chinese and like communist Chinese. And every game, a lot of the games have like remnants of like Chinese spies that were still around, right? Or you'll run into like ghouls that are like survivors from Chinese ships or whatever, that are all doing their own thing. So like they're around, and China's a big place. I assume they have their own thing to make it out. So I would love to see a Fallout China. I think that could be fun, but I don't know if we'll ever get it.
Yeah, what's his name? I had it in the guy who created Fallout, or maybe it's the owner of Bethesda.
Todd Howard?
Yes, him.
Not the guy who created Fallout. I will say that.
Okay.
Please. Do not come for me. I know Todd Howard. I'm aware.
Whoever they need to get on that. That feels like that at least feels like it could be like a comic idea.
For sure. I do kind of like that they don't they don't overplay their hand and say everything, because I feel like if they said everything, then it would kind of like spoil the mystique. And like every game, kind of we get a little bit more of a hint, and I think that's all you really need. But getting back to the main episode, we had a little we started with the tangent. Okay, most podcasts, lesser podcasts, will do a tangent in the middle episode. We begin with the tangent here at Peak Addiction. All right, so we have our host. We have Supo. He is the noob in this discussion. He is new to the Fallout universe.
What's good, everybody? Thanks for having me.
And myself, Bates and Dust, I am the Fallout veteran, so I'll be writing like all the cool lore bits as we analyze the Fallout television show. So we're looking at episode 2 of season 2, The Golden Rule. And I think it's a pretty solid episode. It's a pretty solid episode in my opinion. But this is, for me, right, as a big fan of lore, this is where the cracks are beginning to form the show in the difference between game lore and show lore. And show lore is starting to retcon one too many things in game lore for me. But we'll get into it. As your first watch, what did you think about the episode?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really good seeing my boy Maximus again. You know, he really bossed up in the organization. You know, he got his own. I want to say it's his own squire now, if not just maybe just someone underneath him. And yeah, but he's still like you can kind of tell though that even though he's like in this position, because he always wanted to be as a kid, he always wanted to be like a brother of steel, uh, or those iron. I don't know.
It's Brotherhood of Steel. Yeah.
Okay, cool. He always wanted to be a brother of steel, uh, but now that he got it after everything, it's just kind of, sort of he's just sort of over it.
Yeah.
Just this perpetual like I don't even.
It's like he knows it sucks now.
Yeah. He's like, this is what I spent most of my life trying to get.
Yeah.
This is bad. But no, it was cool. It was cool seeing him. I still like the dynamic between Lucy and Ghoulman, but I did enjoy their scenes as well when they found the tunic woman along with that guy, and they got into a fight with radioactive scorpions.
Rad scorpions.
Rad scorpions.
That's what we call them.
Rad scorps. But sometimes it's just an annoying thing that shows do sometimes where like to make conflict, someone will be withholding information. And I feel like Ghoulman was.
We will get into the withheld information. We will get into withheld information. But yes, you're right.
Because like as soon as he's just like, hey, no, she's a tunic, and I'm like, okay, you wanna explain what that is? No, okay, no. But no, I still pretty much like them. I think especially what Lucy did, you know, saving her instead of Ghoul, Cooper. I have written it as Ghoulman in my notes, so I'm just gonna keep calling him that. Even though it was like I don't want to say it's like be treacherous or anything like that, but it's just it is very much in her attitude to try to help someone. And like I think her reasoning is pretty good, where she's like, you know, you can't die, she can. And granted, we don't know the deal with this lady, right, or why she was even here to begin with. But you know, her not giving a Ghoulman the stim pack, annoying, but like I could see why. I could see what she was thinking. You know, I mean, she's trying to have a situation where everyone could be all right, not just them. But we'll get into it a bit later. I really enjoy Lucy's brother's side.
Yeah,
plot.
Norm. Yeah,
Norm's great. Norm's great. The fact that so he has all these managers all thought out, and like he instantly just starts micromanaging them, bro. And
it's the only thing they respond to.
Spreadsheets and
merit
team
badges.
events. Yeah, merit badges, bro.
That's great. Yeah. When he had like the little band-aids, he was like, yeah, you'll get your merit badge. Incredible.
Yeah, Norm's great. I can't wait to see more of how his side's gonna go, and how he's gonna survive and manage all these people, and because they all think that this is just some kind of big test, some game, but in reality, you know, Norris just trying to push this for as long as he can get it. He can go until you know, they discover that he's been captain.
Yeah.
But and also I really enjoyed seeing Maximus a little bit. I really enjoyed seeing his backstory. Too. Yeah. And how his parents got blown up along with his town.
I think that's a good point to transition as we do a little more in-depth coverage of the episode. Because as you said, the episode starts with the backstory of Maximus, where Maximus is just a nice kid, nice boy. They live in shady sands, which I think this is already a point of contention for a lot of like Fallout fans last season. The fact that Shady Sands got nuked, because Shady Sands is a city or town that was like central to like the NCR. But it was also, even before the NCR, it was a town that got started in, I think, Fallout 1. Either Fallout 1 or 2. And Shady Sands started as this small kind of town built by vault dwellers and grew and grew. And you could check in both Fallout 1, Fallout 2, and then in New Vegas, like you heard about like in New Vegas. I'm not sure what you saw in New Vegas, but it was a cool thing. It was a cool environment, and it was a place where people could live and be happy in this wasteland. Progress had been made. People were happy. And then
what
just
could go wrong?
right. So I could get that irritation, right? Now, for me, I didn't play the original game, so it was like, oh, who cares? But you know, that has come back to bite me. But I think the scene's pretty cool. I think it's cool seeing what it used to be, what the functioning NCR was.
Mhm.
And it was also cool seeing you know, his parents, right? Like he
Yeah.
had a very good family structure, and you kind of see where Maximus gets his character from, his motivations. And the gentleman who brought in the bomb, right? That phrase he kept saying, you know, he's like, patrolling the Mojave makes you wish for a nuclear winter. Is that works as both, I think, to a new viewer as a creepy saying,
Mhm.
right? Or a thing. But if you're a New Vegas player, that is also a fun joke / reference to the fact that practically every NCR NPC in that game, right, as one of their dialogue options, will go, patrolling the Mojave makes you wish for a nuclear winter. It's one of like the 4 things they'll say. Like if they're not like a named NPC that has like actual dialogue,
Mhm.
they will just be like, patrolling the Mojave makes you wish for a nuclear winter over and over and over again. If you go for like a playthrough of New Vegas, you will hear that like 100+ times.
Just
Of
on random NPCs?
every NCR NPC, right? Every NCR soldier, like, or an NCR generic NCR trooper,
Mhm.
that's just like one of their passing dialogues that they'll do. Like when they pass by you, they'll be like, "Oh, patrolling the Mojave makes you wish for a nuclear winter." It's one of the 4 things they'll say, right? The other thing they'll say is like, you know, when I was stationed to New Vegas, I thought there'd be more gambling, right? It's
Mhm.
just like a generic NPC phrase, but because of the fact that there's not a lot of them,
It just repeats.
you hear that a lot. A whole lot in that game. So I think that was fun that they included that as like it's a very NPC thing to say, and the guy is literally being mind controlled. So he's like an NPC, just repeating the same
Oh, I
thing
didn't
over
even
and over
catch
again. So I think that worked.
That's fire. That's fire. Yeah, I was thinking it was like it still does have this mystery tinge to me, but
Now, how did Hank get a nuke? Who knows?
yeah, Hank being the one behind that is crazy.
I mean,
man.
we knew kind of bits and pieces last season because, and I think part of his motivation that we get is one, it was extreme divorced dad
Yeah.
energy. He's like, my wife took the kids. Right. And 2, it was, you know, other people on the surface doing their own thing and being successful is not in the Vault protocol. Right. Vault-Tec protocol. Vault-Tec protocol is, oh no, we're gonna be running things.
Mhm.
And if someone else is doing a good job, they can't be around.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool scene, tragic scene, good opening. And it leads us to our next little bit where we see Maximus as an adult. As you said, he bossed up. He is like a full knight. He's clearing ghouls out. He's retrieving items for the Brotherhood, and I believe Quintus, the elder cleric, is like, you're my son." You know, I care about you so much, Maximus. You know, you are. Well, I'll never do anything to betray your trust. And well, eh. um, then
Nah, she's completely trustworthy. I'm not getting any.
and we'll continue on Maximus while we're here. We'll just finish off Maximus's plot line. They end up going to like Area 51, right, as like a new base of operations, and that's where we get that like the alien scene. And there's a bunch of other stuff in the base, and they find all this technology, and they're setting that up as a new place where they can run the fusion, the nuclear fission kind of endless infinite power thing, and they can have like a new base of operations. And my complaint as a lore person is these Brother of Steel guys are too dumb for me.
They're not as they're a lot less competent in the show.
Yeah, well, I mean, the defense is there's a different chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel, right? And even as he said, each chapter is run differently. Usually, Brotherhood of Steel, I would say their main thing, regardless of the chapter, is they are a little bit of like technology perverts who have like a fixation on collecting and utilizing, like storing technology, right? Sometimes that is because they believe that no one else can handle technology but them, so they have to get the best, like, the most advanced technology and basically hoard it. Sometimes they're altruistic, but that's more of a rare thing. Sometimes they want to be more like controlling and take things over, kind of like what this one's doing. But in each of them, they're usually pretty competent. And these guys were portrayed as like a quasi-religious, kind of thing, but they're just dumb. There's a bunch of meatheads, and they're doing meathead stuff, like when they're playing with the grenade, and they're just brawling, and it's just like, I understand this is supposed to be like a different organization, but I think you end up having like 3 different chapters of Brotherhood of Steel from different locations all in one place, and they're all kind of like dumb meatheads. And now these are none of the chapters from the game, so I guess this technically does not, interfere with any of the like exact lore, but these guys are all kind of like very much like, oh, we want power, we want this or whatever. Including that one chapter of the guys who was like, I'm just misogynist. That's my gimmick. I don't think women should have rights. That's my character.
That's my personality.
And then the lady leader of the Brotherhood of Steel felt a little too much like a cartoon character, especially the way she was voicing some of the stuff. Really felt like a a cartoon, like, tough girl.
I see what you mean. No,
character.
she definitely has that gruffness.
Yeah, but it felt like a fake gruffness, not like a real gruffness.
Oh, yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Like she's trying too hard.
Yeah, yes. So it just felt off to me. And I think I get, on a plot level, I do get like okay, you know what? We can, like, the Commonwealth, as they bring up, because he keeps saying, like, hey, who cares about the Commonwealth, guys? Right? We're going to do this. The Commonwealth, I guess, now is the main Brotherhood of Steel faction, right? And they were established in Fallout 4 as, like, the big faction, right? And they're a little bit more militaristic and authoritarian than other previous Brotherhood of Steel factions. And they are based in, like, Boston. And they are like this really strong, I guess definitely more disciplined faction. And they also extremely anti robot, anti-synth, right? I think that's one of their main bits. Also, if we didn't know, there are lifelike robots in the Fallout universe. Robots that look identical to human beings, like a la Terminator, called synths. They're just there. Who knows if they'll come up? But I just want to let you know they're synths, like Blade Runner style androids running around.
They got the technology for this after the war. Okay.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of like highly advanced places after the war. I think there's a faction in Boston called the Institute,
Mhm.
and they're MIT. Like it is MIT, and basically they're MIT people that like protected themselves from the nuclear devastation and have like been making super technology for like the whole time post apocalypse.
I see. Well, that's interesting.
But that's all saying. I like they're like we don't need the Commonwealth because we have literally infinite power.
Mhm.
So and we can just like basically recharge like those cores which power the rope their suits. So it doesn't matter. Who cares about the Commonwealth? Um and on top of like the meathead brother of Steel, you have that scene where like that big guy is like, "We're gonna fight Maximus," and like I get it. He's from a different chapter. He wants to show out, but like it was so aggressive. It
Yeah,
was just so it was just so crazy aggressive. And when he was like, "Yeah, let's go fight, let's go brawl," and
barehanded.
barehanded, and like he doesn't even take his jacket off, and he's already like punching him. And then when he gets hit a couple times, I'm gonna stab you, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
I-
Um,
it just shows that they're not as the this faction just isn't as honorable or as what you typically expect to see in
yeah,
in a brotherhood of steel. I mean, these guys are just ruffians.
they are.
And they kind of alluded to that with like that guy who Maximus took over in the last season. And how he was just like a big,
Titus, yeah.
yeah, Titus. Uh and how he was just kind of like I wouldn't say fraud per se, but he clearly isn't built for any of
Yeah,
this.
and he's not like an honorable knight.
Yeah.
Um, and there's some other things. Some might say shows kind of a little too cynical. It's one of those things where like we can't. I'm not saying this should be good, right? I think Brother of Steel should be a morally dubious at best faction, but I think they can still be like quote unquote honorable knights and be weird tech perverts without being like fraudulent meatheads.
That's fair.
I think you can do both. But of course it ends with his dad figure is like, hey, you go figure it out on your own, Maximus. I'm gonna sit here, let this play out. And then Kamal Najani shows up as Harkness to be like, "Hey, I'm from the Commonwealth, and I hear that you're gonna do a little civil war." Um, so I'm curious to see what he is. He also has the best drip out of all the Brotherhood of Steel. That coat was
Oh yeah, I really like
the
his
coat was
when he
hidden
comes
pretty
over.
good, and like it seems like a fun thing. I'm actually excited to see what he does next time. I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah. Maybe he could put that Eternal's body to use. You know what I mean?
I mean, he has to. Okay, like I think I was talking to you. I think whatever they did to him is permanent. I don't even think he's working out anymore. I think he's just like that. Like they put him in the Marvel execs put him in a lab.
The same thing that they gave Steve Rogers, bro.
Yeah, they ran experiments and now he's permanently trapped. But we get our next plot line, which is the Lucy plot line with Lucy and the ghoul or Cooper. And this one annoys me. This plot
This one
line is
annoys
right
you?
out. Yeah, this one annoys me. Because Cooper does not use his big boy words.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It is
and
frustrating.
so Lucy and the Cooper are going back and forth, and Lucy is still on her like, the golden rule. We gotta help everyone. Ba 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 ba. Which I really felt like, hey, that was season 1, Lucy. But no, we're still on this. You know what? Lucy can be the moral person that wants to help people.
Yeah, I
Sure.
think she's trying to be more rugged, but like she doesn't want to be rugged enough where like
Yeah.
she that goes against her morals. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like
I'm I'm pro Lucy helping people. I think that's a good character trait. But if you've already been through one season of the show, you should do it more smartly
mm,
than you're doing.
like when she instead of yeah. Like instead of like in the first episode when they were up against that gang,
Yeah.
and instead of shooting them, shooting ghouls handcuffs, uh, she instead wanted to like bargain with them, be like, hey,
Yeah. She puts a lot of things at risk. She puts herself and everyone else at risk like a lot. And I think that's just another example. And I don't want her to go through another arc. She's like, oh, people in the wasteland are mean. Oh, maybe I should, because I thought we already did this, right? Um, but it's fine, it's whatever. But they hear someone screaming, and of course, Cooper's like, we gotta move on, and Lucy's like, oh, we're gonna help, and then she finds people like in this kind of like is it a hospital, or I forget like exactly what the building was,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
but they find people. They find a woman and a man who are injured, and Cooper is like, oh, he sees the outfits, recognizes them immediately, and it's like, oh, they're no good, right? You get up these tunics, and he comes and say, oh, you're pretty far out west, and he's referencing the fact that they are dressed like people who belong to Caesar's Legion.
Yeah.
And as we brought up last time, Caesar's Legion are a bunch of like, authoritarian, slaving, raping psychos, who even though they keep the road safe, are not exactly the best candidates to shepherd the Mojave wasteland. To give some further context, Caesar, right, was a guy. He was a dude, who was like, moving around these other people, and his entire thing that he founded, the wasteland, like his whole the Caesar's Legion on, was because he read a book on Julius Caesar. Okay, he read a book. He read a book on Julius Caesar in Rome, and he was like, "Dang man, the Caesar guy he's literally me." And it was like, well, maybe I can adapt some of this stuff to like do Wasteland or whatever. And he aura farmed his way into taking control of a tribe. And then from there, created a legion. And he's not, there's so many flaws with one Caesar, Kaiser. Everyone knows it. And you can say, well, he did this and that, but like, nah. And for all the people that say, well, the Legion, they're inspired by Rome and they're bringing all these changes to the wasteland and they'll be the best shepherds. I'll ask this. You say they're inspired by Rome, right? You say they're Roman. The only thing they are inspired by Rome is their fighting tactics. They're good fighters. I will give you that. They're very good and skilled combatants. But for all of like the Rome cosplaying that they're doing, where is the Roman infrastructure? Where's all the benefits of being Roman? Where's the architecture? Where's the culture? Where's the art? Nothing. All they can do is kill people. And this is like, back to the episode. The ghoul could have, I'm not saying a ton of time because of the rat scorpion or whatever, but he could have explained to Lucy, these people are from Caesar's Legion. They're bad people, right? But he doesn't say that. He keeps it very vague because he keeps it vague for you, who's watching, who's not played the games, right? And I guess me, the viewer, they expect that someone who's played the games to go, oh, he's talking about a Legion, and then not question it further. But I am questioning it further. And my question is, okay, let's say they are from the Legion, right?
Mm-hmm.
One, the guy who he kills, right, is not dressed like a Legionnaire.
Yeah, he didn't look like the other Spartan guys at the end.
No.
He was in a tunic too.
He's just in a tunic.
Yeah.
And the woman is also tunic, and I'm sorry, unless Caesar's Legion has gone woke in the 15 years, women aren't part of the Legion, right? Women are, slaves and treated like as they can only nurture or breed or whatever. So if you have two people on the run from Legion, or on the run, right? And they're
Mhm.
dressed like they're from the Legion, but they don't have weapons. They're not just like legionnaires. I don't think they're actual Caesar's Legion members. I think they're slaves. Especially the woman. I think the woman was a slave, which
Yeah, that's what it felt like, especially when she made that joke.
that
Uh
statement, yeah.
yeah, to that statement to Lucy. But I mean, is there a benefit of a doubt that maybe Cooper just thinks that all Legion is bad? And so
Bro,
like he
he's been alive for 200 years. How does he not know this?
maybe he's heard of
I don't
them,
know,
you know
man.
what I mean?
That's the thing. It's already implied that he used to run with the NCR, and he's been alive long enough to see both the rise and decline of the Legion. How do you not know this? Right? Like that this is my main thing. And also for the lady, and I got maybe I don't know, maybe she has more allegiance to Legion, but like
Why go back there?
why would she go back?
Yeah, yeah. Why would she go back?
This is also my other like head scratcher I have is why would you go back if you were an escaped slave? So I don't know why they're there. So maybe they'll reveal that maybe the lady is less good, but I just don't know. I'm just not sure what the game plan was for either of them.
Yeah.
And a lot of this could have been resolved by talking, but nobody wants
Yeah,
to
no.
talk
Yeah, no,
or
it's,
discuss or anything about what they do or their motivations. And despite I guess walking for who knows how long, hours, those two people, Lucy and the lady, walked, and I guess she didn't say anything
yeah,
about
where's she
where
from?
she was from, what she's doing, what were the goals. And so I think the inclusion for me so far is kind of strange.
Mhm.
Right. Especially knowing what I know about the Legion, it's kind of weird that um you have somebody who was from the Legion, but looked like, they were leaving it. They were going the other way, but then goes back.
Maybe there's someone in there that the lady wants that when she was escaping the first time, she was someone
Yeah.
that she couldn't take with her. Uh but she was escaping with the other dude. But once now that Ghoul Man killed the other dude, she figures, I have to at least go back for the person who they left behind. Uh and she took Lucy too and as like a kind of like a bait to like so that they
Maybe.
would be focused on her.
Because she does like disappear before like the Legion shows up.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because she got taken by a Legion or,
Yeah,
I
but
don't
she was
know.
taken.
Maybe she was like, looking to sell people out. Maybe they were people who were trying to, get people for Legion. I don't know. I don't know. But right now I'm like, I'm puzzled.
That could be it.
I'm puzzled because if she was a slave, none of this makes sense. If she was a slave, this really doesn't make sense, and also it makes Cooper's aggro even more bizarre because he should know better. But maybe she's doing something else. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see next episode. Hopefully it ties it all together. Good.
I hope that the Legion gets differentiated from the Brotherhood of Steel,
Mhm.
and I hope the Legion is not just meatheads. I hope they're there should still be like murderous and evil, but I want them to be a little more disciplined in
Mhm.
their murder and evil, and not just be like idiots.
That'd be interesting.
That's my main thing.
But if they're like how you describe in the game, you know, I could see it just being. I could see it being akin to a bunch of frat bros.
And that's what I'm afraid of, because also by now Caesar would have died assuredly, because even in
Mhm.
Vegas, Caesar had like brain cancer. That was his main thing. Like he knew he was dying, and he wanted to he was desperately looking for help during this time. So I don't eat either way. I don't think like the original Caesar's there.
Mhm.
So whoever's running it now is not going to run it as competently as original Caesar. So it does lean them to them being frat boys. But if they're frat boys, we already had frat boys. We already had Brother to Steel frat boys. Why do we need Legion frat boys?
It's a whole frat party.
Yeah, this is my this is my current like worry slash like thing is like I wish the show was just a little bit less cynical, especially when it's handling things that are like have lore attached. I think it got away with a lot of stuff. Not got away, but it was more successful in the first season because it was playing with new stuff. But when you take like old things, that's when you run into issues. I really think the show should have made, or maybe in the future they will. They need another faction here that's not any pre-established faction, because every game in Fallout has new factions that are designed for that location, that are based on like that kind of location's history. And I think the show really needs like another group here that can like balance power out in the wasteland without it compromising some piece of lore that's already there.
Yeah, it's yeah, I'm still, super into it. I'm still like looking at these new factions, with Legion. Once they popped up, I'm like, oh, that's the group Bates was talking about the other day. But I'm still like looking forward to seeing, the work of the different factions. I do think that if you're looking for the non dude bro faction, I feel like that's what the Commonwealth might be.
Yeah,
Personally.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. I think so.
Yeah.
But they might be a little more fash. Let's give her to we'll see. And then of course we have the other plot line, the vault plot lines of Norm and Hank.
Yes,
As we
Hank.
brought up earlier, Norm is he's compromised Bud to a permanent end. And he releases all the other Vault 31 dwellers, all the middle managers, gets them going.
Mhm.
They're
Yes.
very easy to persuade.
Yeah, just
Uh,
manipulate with some stickers, bro. And that's it.
There's a couple of them. There is a couple of them that are show a little more intelligence, that are like asking some questions, and they might be problems. But all in all, he's able to take control and get in the wasteland. I am curious because he is trying to navigate the wasteland with like a bunch of real fresh faces
Mhm.
who may have a little bit of training before, but they're all a bunch of middle managers.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think I feel bad is what I'm saying. They may not make very far.
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna? How many do you think are gonna get wiped next episode?
I mean, over under, I'm gonna say
Yeah.
5, at least 5.
Yeah, I think at least 5 is dying, right?
Now, what would be funnier is if they do make it, right? Because this kind of group right here is the kind of group that in a game would establish like a new society somewhere in the wasteland, and then you'd meet them in the wasteland, and then they would have their gimmick, right?
Mhm.
And I'd rather that happen personally, right? Because this is the kind of thing that you would run into somewhere in the wasteland, and the town would be called like, I don't know, like Vault Inc.
Yeah.
And you go in there and
Vaultopia.
everyone, yeah, Vaultovia, and everyone is it's set up and structured like an office, the
Mhm.
entire like city or town, and everyone's trying to do like a rough like copy of what it was like before the war, even though it's the apocalypse. That could be fun, right? And I think that is something that feels more like Fallout to me, and I'd rather them build something new and weird instead of the easy route, which is they all get horribly slaughtered.
True. No, I ain't even mad at that. Yeah, I would like to. Yeah, I would like to see them like harden up a bit. Honestly, it'd be really funny if Norm could take this lie to the end of the series somehow. Like he still get like despite everything they see, the radioactive monsters and the the raiders that they'll probably inevitably encounter. If you could take this lie to like the end, and just gaslight them, that'd be a pretty amusing watch. Like, oh, it's yeah, those guys are actually just actors, guys. But you got to take this seriously, otherwise,
Actually, I think what he says is, I don't think he says it's a test, right? I think the test part is getting out of the vault. It was
Mhm.
That's what he lied. The lie was, oh, the final test was, we have to get out of the vault, and you guys
Oh,
have to
yeah,
figure it
it
out.
was final test.
But
Yeah.
he says that the lie is it's Reclamation Day.
Mhm.
That
Yes.
it's the day when they're gonna take back the surface. And what it should be is it should be like an easy, like from their perspective, it's gonna be like a easy, bing bang boom. We walk out and we set up on the surface, no problem. But they're gonna quickly find that it will be many problems setting up on the surface.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Uh,
our last plot line is the Hank plot line,
yeah.
uh,
Him doing
where
his experiments.
he's doing his little experiments on the mice and then the men. Um,
You
I
didn't
don't
have Vault
know.
Plus?
I don't know what the end goal is here. I guess maybe it's like he's trying to perfect the thing. I'm curious because in the flashback, it looked like the chips were a house device,
Mhm.
but it also looks like it's very closely related to Vault-Tec. So I wonder where, at what point did Mr. House give the technology to, or like sell the tech to Vault-Tec, or how did Vault-Tec get their hands on this sort of thing? Because once again, if Mr. House had mind control chips, I think that would have played a factor in Fallout New Vegas. But hey, retcons, that's whatever.
That's happening all the time.
It happened all the time. But so maybe it's a thing where like Vault-Tec bought up his entire store. I could see a thing where House was like, this is an effective bad product, and he just dumped them all on Vault-Tec. He's like, okay, you just I'll sell it off to you. Um, so I'm curious what Hank's ultimate plan, and like that can be pretty fun. But overall, I mean, I would say this is a pretty solid episode. It's a pretty solid episode. Besides my lore gripes, I think it's still good. Like as a show, I think it's still good. It's just it's going a little bit too much into pre-established lore. And like I said before, we're gonna run into the elephant in the room.
Mhm.
The elephant in the room is if we're going to Vegas, right, and all these things take place after New Vegas, then what happened to the courier, right? What happened to the canon player character of Fallout New Vegas? Um, where are they now? Do they succeed? Who do they side with? And what I'm afraid is the conclusion that we're going to come to is someone's going to say, oh, back 15 years ago, there was this upstart, I don't even know his name, but they called him the courier. And, he wanted to change a bunch of things, but, you just can't change the wasteland or something like that, right? where it's going to be,
Everything you did was for naught.
yes,
Okay.
right. All your decisions that you made in New Vegas didn't really mean that much. Maybe the courier did a bunch of stuff, but it had no real lasting change.
Impact. Yeah.
And that's what kind of has to be. And that bums me out because every Fallout game literally ends with a once you beat the final boss or whatever, it ends with a where are they now thing where you literally go through all of the main players and the decisions you make, and it says this is what happened to these people afterwards, right? Like if you side with one faction or the other, it'll say, okay, this faction did this faction collapsed, or this faction succeeded, this group dissolved, or if you convince somebody of something else, like they did this. And one of the big things for a bunch of these guys is if you get one ending or another, like it sets them up for future success. And the conclusions that was actually nothing did really mattered, that will bum me out.
No, I feel you. It's kind of frustrating taking away like making something that should be like a more open ended or establishing like a canon path in like a game that has like different like paths you can take, and being like, well, you know, you weren't even really a factor. That does take a bit away.
In fact, I'd rather them just pick a path instead of, well, who knows? It didn't really matter. I'd rather them be like, oh no, the courier did this and it affected this on a huge scale, than, oh well, you know,
he didn't do anything.
Yeah,
he had no impact. No, I feel
like,
you. I feel you.
Everyone's fighting over the you know, I guess in the last season we're fighting over the chip, right? The nuclear fission thing. But like in New Vegas, I understand it wouldn't affect them because it's kind of far away, but in New Vegas, everyone's fighting over the Hoover Dam for its hydroelectric. You know, that's a huge energy source. So whoever won that fight was poised to do a lot, you know, in the world. So I'm just curious, you know, is Courier dead? You know, maybe like, oh, the Courier got betrayed by Mr. House or something. I don't know. Will the Courier show up?
All these questions and more. We'll see.
Who knows? Who knows? My ideal thing at the Courier must show up. You know, make him cool, or they, I should say, because it could be like a man or woman, but just make them cool. Have them walk into a room and do VATS, which is kind of like VATS is a system where you can basically stop time and select body parts to target, and like, you know, select a bunch of things, and then you just do them out. So my ideal Courier scene would be a Courier walks in, like there's a big combat scenario, and this mysterious figure walks in and like looks around like at everyone in the room, and you can see them look at different body parts or whatever, and then they just pull their gun and just take everyone out. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, you're playing real close. You're playing real close. But in good news, they did a stream called the Gulag, right, where they have like they do like a radio broadcast, and they did bring Wayne Newton back to do Mr. New Vegas.
Oh wow, fire.
Please, I'm hoping next episode, Mr. New Vegas. We need Mr. New Vegas so badly. I need him back.
You fire. Yeah. Now,
but
to hear
all right. I think we had a good little discussion. We will catch y'all next week as we talk about more Fallout. And hopefully there's a healing. There's a great healing, and I can stand here and say, woof. You know, I was worried for nothing. That's my dream. But if you like the episode, you know, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and you know, we'll keep climbing. I think later on we're gonna have a Stranger Things review this week, and we have our end of the year discussion as well. And next month we're gonna start talking about the some of the worst media in fiction. So get excited, and we'll catch you around soon.
All right. Thank you everyone for coming by. I hope y'all don't have a falling out with y'all significant others.
You can't repeat that joke. You cannot repeat the joke, brother.
It's gonna hit. It's gonna hit one of these episodes.
That folks ain't gonna keep being patient with you. That playful person that took the Buffalo City by storm in his first interview, and he sat down and was like, "Yeah,
okie dokie."
He had the whole all that was all cool, but we give that grace to young players. Oh, big dog, you supposed to be our number one.
Come on now.
And you're playing like a bum.
Give me a stim pack.
Help me. I only have one. Please.
Give it to me.
Please.
Give it to me.
She'll die without it. You won't. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. We'll get you home to your people, okay?
Yeah, bet you better catch that
I
ball.
bet you better start doing your job.
For sure.
Next clip.